My name is Mandy Benedicts. I am the mentor specialist for the RISE mentoring program in Pearland ISD. RISE is a school-based mentoring program that connects adults in the community to come onto the campus one day a week for 30 minutes to build relationship with one of our students. We mentor kids K through 12. We're in our 4th year, and currently we have over 420 kids matched with a mentor. We all know that one of the greatest needs of all human beings is to be connected, to feel like you belong. And RISE allows an opportunity for these relationships that we know from history and from our own life can be the changer, can be the game changer for people. And so we know from all of these stories that when somebody shows up for you and sets everything else aside and gives you that undivided attention, the things that it can do for us. Our mentors come on and fulfill many different roles, but we are always in need of more. My favorite mentoring stories are the ones where the line between who's helping and who's receiving the help is blurred. One of those stories came last year. We had a boy who in 5th grade was matched with his mentor. They didn't even start meeting together until March of that school year. Our mentors commit until May. And so he signed up and they got matched in March. So March, April, and May, they spent time together, and literally all they did was play football or basketball. We knew that this young man's dad had passed away unexpectedly when he was at the end of his 4th grade year. And the mentor knew that, because I always tell the mentors, the story of the child so they know going in and can connect better. So he knew it, but it hadn't come up. March, April, May, dad never came up. They literally just hung out, got to know each other, just like friends do when they're first meeting each other. They didn't see each other over the summer. They got back together. They decided to continue together in the program, as many of our mentors do. And September, October, same thing. Baseball, they added baseball in the mix, football, basketball. About October of that year, they were playing football, and the young man said something about the day his dad died. It was the first time he'd ever mentioned it in their now 6 months together as a mentor-mentee pair. So the mentor, seeing the door open a little bit, invited him to share more, and he said, if you would like to tell me about that, you sure can, but you don't have to. And the young boy went on to tell him how he and his dad had been playing football, and an hour and a half after they were done playing, his dad had a heart attack and passed away. For 2 years, this young man thought he had killed his father, because if they hadn't been playing football, maybe he wouldn't have had a heart attack. And he'd been carrying that because his mom, he saw, was already sad, and she's wonderful, and he's an only child, so he had no one else in his mind. He had no one else that he could unload that on. And now he had this man who'd been showing up for him, and he trusted enough to let him carry that with him. The mentor said it was one of the hardest conversations he's ever had, because I will never tell people that this work is easy. The time commitment is not hard, but the work is not easy. He went on to continue talking with him. At the end of their time, he got him to the counselor because he was a bit of a mess. He didn't want to send him back to class. The next week they came back together, and he checked in on him. How you doing today? He said, I'm good, let's go to the gym. But at the end of their time together, where they normally would fist bump to end their time, he reached out and gave him a hug. Their relationship had gone to a new level. Fast forward to July of this last summer, the mentor's dad passed away unexpectedly. One of the first people that he wanted to call was his 12-year-old friend who'd been through the same thing. And so he called his mom to see if she would be okay with him talking to him, because he knew that would be a hard place to take this young man again, to bring all those feelings back up. And she said, absolutely, he would want to do this for you. It would be good for him. And so he said, Mandy, for an hour, we talked on the phone, and this 12-year-old told me everything to expect in the week leading up to my dad's funeral. I was at the funeral, and so was the young man and his mom. And I watched this 12-year-old laser focused on this 40-something-year-old man the whole time, ready to swoop in and save him and help him however he could with whatever tools he had. He was locked in. And at the end of the funeral, the two embraced, both with tears running down their face. And I stood back and just watched the whole thing. It was very much like a Hollywood moment. And I knew in my mind that that's exactly why we do this.